Hello and welcome to another edition of Life Chats.
Come on.
And I'm here with my friend Gabriel Phillips, husband of Fiona.
Yep,
my
come
name
on.
is Mark and I'm married to an amazing lady, Candace. We are pastors at a church called Life Changes in the most beautiful city in the world, Cape Town. We just happen to be slightly biased. And but we love it, and the fact that we get to do life here is amazing. But part of it is that we are navigating. Today we're going to talk about the vision of the church, because we've had a vision in line of our church for a couple of years now. We've said everything is about that, and it's called Reach Far, Reach Those Who Are Far from Christ, Raise Up, Raise Everybody Up in Jesus Christ, discipleship and reaching, and then Release Wide for the Kingdom of God. And as we've navigated even the coronavirus, we've realized our strategy and our vision is super important, but our strategy can change given the situation, the scenario of what's going on in our world. So right now we're saying the first part of our vision is clearly, and most importantly right now, to reach far as a local church. What does that mean, Gab? Where does that concept even come from? And in God, how is it positioned? Maybe help us there.
Yeah, I think we go a number of ways, because I think it's always been in God's heart to reach those who are far from Him. We have to understand, I always say jokingly, if Jesus had a business card, what is he on about? He said He came to seek and save that which is lost. Actually,
it's a long title though.
It's a long one for a business card, but maybe an A4. But I think on every level, you can't look at the cross and not see God's heart. That God so loved the world. It was not limited to a suburb. It was His vision was always bigger than.
I love the thought of God being a self-extending God.
I love it.
He left heaven and extended Himself to earth because of the chaos and the brokenness. He's always kept running to chaos. He's always kept running to brokenness.
Beautiful.
And He's kept reaching.
Yeah. So from creation, incarnation, you're talking about, to the cross and resurrection, it all paints a story of God redeeming and reaching people who are far from Him. And we just said, actually, if that is utmost on His heart, it needs to be utmost in our heart. There's so many good things we can give ourselves to, and we want to do those things, but we're saying, actually, what is the first thing that actually one day in heaven we can do a whole lot of other things, but the one thing that we can only do here on earth is reach people who are far from Him.
So the first part of our mission is reach far.
Yeah.
How has that been infected, changed, or what strategies are we changing? Because we're saying, hey, the wine is one thing, the wineskin is something different, and we need new wineskins for new days, we need new strategies, but we don't need a whole new vision. So our vision is still to reach far, at this time, reach those who the church doesn't exist, you say it often, for ourselves. We exist for those who aren't partners or members in the life of the church yet. What does that look like, and how have we navigated that in this season?
Well, we had to understand that, as you mentioned earlier, the strategy changes, not the vision. The vision stays the same. We're still going to go on about that thing. So we're still going to go on. We want to reach people far from Jesus. So we've really worked hard over the years on this, even the way we speak, when we preach, our language. We view the sermon through not just what does our church need to hear, but what do their friends need to hear, so that people would be comfortable in previous days, inviting people to church. But now we're saying we want to put a presentation of the gospel on display, so that can reach places that it would never have gone before, that people are able with confidence to share those posts, knowing that there would not be insider language or things that would be way over people's heads. So we try to keep our language simple, because we know the gospel is for those who Jesus said, for the poor, for the weak, for the blind. It's for us, for people like you and me. And actually we want to make sure that the gospel is simple, but allow it to do its work.
I mean, that's probably been the big reason why. You've seen we've worked really hard to make sure our Sunday experiences are well produced, good quality, making sure, because you know what, the church wouldn't mind coming into my lounge, me sitting with my Bible on my couch, preaching. The church that are connected, and they don't mind that. This is not about the show. This is about producing in a way that someone who's not part of the church, they're not okay with me in shorts at my couch at home. They want production that looks like, hey, it's wonderful to see you here. It's amazing that you would join us, and we actually want to serve you with the best that we can. On a Sunday, it would be the best coffee we can, but in this format and in this world, it's about making sure that the sound is good and that stuff. So we've worked really hard there, and that's the why. The why is we want to reach the world. We want to serve them well, so that their hearts are open to the gospel, and then they would get the truth. And preaching the gospel, I mean, Gabs, it's been difficult to preach to a camera on a Sunday and say, hey, but behind that camera, there are people, there are stories who want to encounter this life. And that's because it burns deep inside of the hearts of the leaders and the heart of this church, that we want to be a church who reaches those who are far from God, those not who are far from the church, but who are far from God. And we know that the family of God is one way they encounter the signs and wonders to Him.
Luke 15, you can't go worse off than looking at that when Jesus tells these 3 back-to-back parables of the lost coin, the lost sheep, and the lost son. And I love the fact how he said how in all of them there's many similarities and a few differences, but the big emphasis is there was this incredible search for not the 9 coins that were saved or the 99 sheep that were saved or the one son was home, but for the ones that had gone astray. But I love the emphasis at the end as Jesus says that there was this incredible celebration when the thing that was lost was found. And I just have to think about family members who I prayed for, who've encountered the love of Jesus because of this amazing community called Life Changers. I go, actually, what wouldn't I do to see that miracle happen? Actually, and are we still trusting for friends and family who need to find faith? And I go, when I have them in my heart, then actually I would change everything and accept the gospel to reach them.
So what does it look like now for the church to partner in a reach far mission? Why do we say, hey, please share? Why do we say, hey, link invitations to family members? Why is that important right now, in the context we have right now?
I think we realize with the social media world is that the reach that the church can have is only limited to who is actually following our page at the moment. But in the moment when things are shared, the word goes exponentially goes out there and goes to the friendship circles of the people who share it. And people, I've just had incredible people from who went to high school with me, who I've lost contact with. But because I've shared
go through school.
I did go through school. Helpful. And I did finish school as well, which is a positive as well. Yes. But when I've shared it, I've seen them jumping online, and they were people who would never come to church. I could ask them 100 times, they wouldn't come. But actually, because they've seen online and because they've got time on their hands, this is such a right time for the gospel to be preached and for people to respond.
Even further to that, we've made all the resources and the podcasts and the preachers available in smaller formats on MP3 so that those who don't have the bandwidth to watch can receive it on their phone and use a little bit of data to receive the message. Why? Because we believe the gospel is the hope of the world, and our job as the church is to make sure that's getting into the hearts of the world, and we do that by loving the world, serving the world, and preaching the gospel consistently with passion and faith, not out of some religious duty, but a passion and a knowledge that, hey, this blood never fails, knowing that this is the hope of the world, and we are part of a bigger story. So we're just saying our mission hasn't changed. Our strategies have changed. Right now we can't meet on a Sunday. But you know what I love more than even meeting on a Sunday is people encountering the love of God and growing in the knowledge of God and getting to know God. I love that. So when lockdown goes down and one day we can gather again, we will love that. But we're not going to stop. We're not hanging on for Sunday. And I think that's proof that we're on this mission. And the mission continues.
I love Jesus said the best. He said, go make disciples, go into all the world and make disciples of all nations.
In lockdown or out of lockdown.
There was no proviso saying just go do this. And I think it's open to all of us. And actually we've got the tools to all participate in this. Not just 100%. Leave it to one preacher. We can share it, we can invite, and actually it's not that intimidating. But what a great opportunity to jump in, boots and all, and say, actually I'm going to, in a simple way, pick up the Great Commission now.
So if you want to jump into a story and you've been visiting our Facebook page, watching podcasts, well, why don't you find out more? Come join us on Linked, where we tell you all about the mission and the mandate of this church. But actually, we're on about 3 things: reaching those far from God, raising them up in Jesus Christ and His goodness and His kindness, and then releasing wide for the kingdom of God. We're not a complicated people. It's that simple. We love God. We love you. We are praying for you. And Gabs, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you, and we'll see you guys soon as well.